next generation 5G mobile, beyond mobile, or more than 20 minutes are like that. What will happen? Actual headache added with some impact of radiation daily, accumulated in your body for a number of years. It will come out of your body as headache plus something extra. So that term may treat for headache because you know headache. Now it is not only headache, added with accumulation of radiation. It is something extra. Are you getting it? So that is the problem we have for next generation. What the benefit you have for our generation? At least at the time of 18 or 17, you get into 5G. And coming to just born baby, by birth he has 5G. Yes, sir. By birth already has 5G. Nowadays, keep on increasing the lifetime generations. So coming generations are more intelligent and they are very qualified at lower levels only. Another way to say, they are very active. But the problem is, lifespan will decrease. Previously 100 years, so they know things by 20 years. Nowadays by 10 years, everyone knows everything. But the lifetime is 50 years. Exactly. Lifetime. Again, if you keep on increasing this, there is another side of radiation impact. What you can see. So those belongs to high frequency range, and even here come to W band. These are simple sensors, and this type of sensors we have to take care of. And this sensor information is very weak in nature. We have to boost them. That's why very weak signals to be pre-processed. If you take any image processing or signal processing, first thing what we will do. So if you collect any information, first step we do is pre-processing. That's why there is a difference. Information is there and data is also there. Improper data is converted into information, proper information by doing pre-processing. You are getting my thing here. So sensor information is very weak and it is one kind of raw data. So convert into a very proper data by pre-processing. That's the first step we need to do for sensors. And now this sensory information is nothing but a well-established data set for our machine learning algorithms. Nowadays it is also famous. What is artificial intelligence? What is machine learning? What is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence is
by human intelligence.
Yes, ma'am. Good.
Machine learning is a operating machine how to perform the operations.
How to perform. Is there any interconnection between these two?
Yes.
Yes, what is it?
Teaching the machine learning to perform these connections are actually needed to perform the operations.
Very good. In simple words, even ML also is part of AI. Both are not different, it is a subset. ML is a subset of AI. What the purpose of AI? Most of engineering colleges also on BTech branch are surprised by visiting some colleges. BTech branch itself AI, artificial intelligence. For every research topic there is a lifetime. There is a lifetime. As a human we have our own lifetime. For every research topic also there is a lifetime. Our basic degree will remain for 30 years of ECE. I don't know how many years AI will survive. Are you getting it? Some branches we have, so specific branches we can say. Not here to make any statements. But the thing is, for every topic, research topic, we have what we call a lifetime. The title may change, the basic will never change. Take any course. Our second year courses or third year courses mostly fixed. Where we have a change in final year courses. Basic never change. See the type of level of engineering also. Have you seen Nagarjuna Sagar Dam? Have you seen Rajahmundry Beach? Yes or no? How many years guarantee they given? How many years already were there? It was there. Since? What's the lifetime of Nagarjuna Sagar Dam? What's the lifetime of Rajahmundry Beach? Have you ever have a doubt? So, how they made pillars within water, how they have done at that time, without the proclines, without villages, without every equipment, whatever we have now, without all those things, with only humans, how they made it. Yes or no? Now what's the lifetime of metro? With our new technology, 30 years they have given lifetime. Within 2 years, the slab was. Yes or no? Have you seen this news or not? In Hyderabad itself, take NH, take any construction, maximum lifetime nowadays is 30 years. Where is the problem? If anyone to do research means again path. So to find the problem is research, to find the solution is engineering. So no, to find a proper problem, that is the research. So there are many people already available, their job is to solve. There are limited people are there to find the problems. If you find a proper problem, that is a proper research. So there are already there many people, their job is to solve. Companies are feeding them like anything. What the purpose? To solve the things. The only problem is limited with defining a problem. So get back to our thing.
Yes, okay.
Before we get into the cooperative communication, all the sensor nodes will cooperate each other. The benefits we will get is MIMO antennas. Nowadays, ready requirement is MIMO. Multiple number of antennas at the transmitter, multiple number of antennas at the receiver. So more number of antennas, there is a possibility to generate high data rate signals. If you combine them, do the multiplexing. What is the meaning of multiplexing? Combining many signals as one signal. How these signals are defined? If any high data rate signal is there, so information signal is high data rate, it is more dominant, where the channel is limited. How to accommodate that? R should be less than or equal to C as per our basic principle. But here R is becoming greater than C. Now what we need to do? So dividend rule. A high data rate signal can be divided into small parts. Assign each small part to a separate carrier. If all carriers are independent orthogonal to each other, it is OFDM. How to combine these multiple number of low data rate signals into a multiplexed signal is one kind of multiplexing technique. TDMA, CDMA, WCDMA, we have OFDM, NOMA, all these are those type of things, multiplexing techniques. The purpose is to send a high data rate signal as subset of some low data rate signals assigned with different carriers. That's the basic principle. Example, our TV channel. How many channels we have on our cable? More than 300 channels. At a time, you can able to select any one. Still, they are combined coming as a composite signal, single signal. That is one example of multiplexing. Yes or no? Now, cooperative communication will replace all the benefits you are getting from MIMO system. I want the MIMO means more number of antennas are required. But here sensor nodes, every sensor has, let us assume, assigned with a transceiver, it having only one antenna. Our direct link is not good, we are taking into the indirect link. Another agent help we are taking. So physically every node has its own antenna and it taking help from other antenna also. So virtually it has two antennas. If keep on increasing the cooperative agent helpers, more number of agents are there, more number of antennas virtually we have. So that is, it is indirectly having more number of antennas. So it is a virtual MIMO. Cooperative communication is nothing but virtual MIMO. It has all the benefits of physical MIMO. What are the benefits of MIMO? Diversity can provide, reliability will increase, high data rate signals we can able to transmit. So these all things will get from our virtual MIMO. So having physical multiple number of antennas is a difficulty. What's the problem? There is a interference between them also. And there is a cost effect. So to replace or to overcome all those limitations, we can go for cooperative communication. The protocols are there. How cooperative communication will exist in nature. How a cooperative nodes, helpers, will help us our information to transmit from source to destination. Even that helper node also a transceiver node. how it will behave with respect to our signal. Suppose it receives a signal, how it behaves to that signal. How it behaves based on that, you can classify the protocols into two types. A signal travels for long distance, automatically how the nature of the signal? It becomes very weak. For the first step we need to do, boost the signal and forward it. Are you getting it? So compared to direct path, indirect path distance is large. So within this travel distance it becomes weak. So the helper node, first of all, blindly it has to amplify the signal and forward to destination. What is the advantage? The protocol is very simple because no need to bother about the signal and all. Just to blindly amplify it and forward to the destination. But unfortunately, our received signal expression is y is equal to h x plus n. If you boost to y means you are boosting x and you are boosting n also. Along with the signal component, noise component also getting amplified. So noise is boosting means is advantage or disadvantage? Disadvantage. So when it is a problem, whenever noise component is more dominant than signal component, again it will go under amplification, then it is a problem. So second type of protocol is called, it is detect or decode and forward. Within this received signal, decode your own information signal and forward the remaining signal to the destination. And hybrid schemes also there. What are the research challenges you have till now and in future also? You can propose new type of relay protocols and you can find optimum number of relay nodes. How many number of helpers are required? That number you need to find out. And location of relay, where to place this relay. That is also one research challenge. And the location, number of relays, type of mode of operation of relay mode, and the way. Generally we have things in our fourth year, CMC, cellular mobile communication. Off duplex communication, full duplex communication, two-way communication. Now you heard of that. Any node at a time doing either transmission or reception, it is off duplex mode. If we do parallelly over the same channel, two-way communication. So likewise. So you can operate that relay in different modes and you can test the performance also. That is also possible. Why cooperative communication is required for our WLAN? Any sensor nodes, they don't have proper channel conditions with respect to the distance. In that particular cases will be served by cooperative communication. Even though it meant for short distance communication. Sometimes the distance may not be the factor, the type of objects present between source and destination are not present. Example, one person located inside the room, another person located outside the room. So just a wall difference. They are close by in distance, but they have a strong object in between. If you want to communicate, is there an assurance from the signal? No. Yes, sir? Yes, sir? No, because it depends on the material you are using for the fabrication of wall. The signal may be attenuated, signal may be diffracted, signal may be scattered, signal may be reflected. Anything it will do. Any propagation mechanism it will take by the signal. So surely there is a loss in the signal strength. Automatically. So to overcome all those things, we will come to cooperative communication. Next we have a resist structure, intelligent reflecting surface. Suppose I need to communicate information in this particular direction. Unfortunately, there is a strong object. My communication is not possible in this direction. What we need to do? So place a reflecting surface there. Our information signal, because it is free space, it is broadcasted in always. So a portion of the signal may reach IRS, intelligent reflecting surface. This intelligent reflecting surface direct our information to a particular destination. So there the particular direction it will go like this, and from there it will reflect our information to particular destination. Why I am saying it is intelligent? So you can program it in what direction it need to project the information signal. So another way to say technically we call it beamforming techniques. What's the beamforming techniques? Place appropriate weights with respect to phase of the information signal. Then you can direct information signal into multiple directions. Desired direction, you can able to tilt it. So that can be done by restructure. Whenever you don't have line of sight communication, proper channel conditions, you can take either help from cooperative communication or you can take help from resist structure. So there are intelligent reflecting surface. The purpose of all these elements is to just to reflect. But is there any possibility of 100% reflection? Any surface? Which type of materials having a property of perfect reflectors? Any example of perfect reflector? No. Okay. Ma? Sir. Yes, sir. Mirror, sir. Anything else? Okay, mirror is one example. But there is a, what we call, sir, glass with respect to mirror or glass also, sir. In optical communication we have. So mirror is of what materials? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Very good. Silicon. SiO2. Yes, ma'am. So there are structure inhomogeneities are there, irregularities in the surface. How these irregularities are there? Based on the molecular structure we have within the material, there are fluctuations. With respect to that also we have loss. So ideally we can say it is mirror, but still mirror also having its own type of process. There may be scattering losses, relay scattering loss, and again attenuation losses also we have with respect to that also. And to overcome some limitations where line of sight communication is not possible for sensors, you can take help of cooperative communication or you can take the help of wrist structures. What is IRS now? Intelligent reflecting surface. The purpose of IRS is to provide communication between source and destination whenever they don't have proper channel condition. Even cooperative communication also same, but cooperative communication has added benefits compared to that. Now combine these three, how will be the structure we will see? This is the body area network, where the sensors are located on the body. So we need to communicate that to outside world in simple words. So sensor information, then pre-processing, then transmission to a nearby destination. And if you want to take the help of AI, keep the machine learning algorithms. Sensor data is input to machine learning algorithm, take appropriate action. And that will be given as input to a doctor. And indirect communication, reverse communication also you can do it. You can refer appropriate actions in reverse communication to a patient also. Remotely you can monitor, at the same time you can control something over there. That is also possible. Type of nodes in WLAN. One example we have discussed is sensors. And the number of nodes in WLAN. That depends on our type of application. Topology. What is the meaning of topology? Way of connecting. How the nodes are connected. Linear topology, star topology, different topologies with that. The topology indicates how the nodes are getting connected. And the different channels are there. If you want to see the number of channels. And what are the possibilities we have? The sensors may be present on the surface of the body or they may be implanted. Based on the type of communication. Implant to implant. Total inside body communication. Total inside body communication. Implant to body surface. Inside to outside communication. And it is body surface to body surface. But it is line of sight communication. Means there is a proper channel condition between source and destination. And coming to next one, body surface to body surface, but non-line of sight communication is there. So they don't have direct communication between the source and destination. So we need to depend on indirect paths. So we need to take either help of cooperative communication or restructure, go for any other alternative. These are the two solutions we propose here. And if you compare the channels, type of channels CM1 to CM4, see the operating frequency bands. Even though the signal is of any frequency, but the channel is limited in terms of megahertz channel. So the last factor we see external communication, where this is the worst scenario we have. It is non-line of sight communication and body surface to external. Body surface is one kind of channel, external is free space channel. So free space channels are fading channels. We can classify them into two types, large scale fading, small scale fading. And finally we get. Large scale fading is a function of distance. If you keep on increasing the distance, path loss will increase. Small scale fading will affect for a smaller distance but huge impact. How we can say? A simple fan off on condition, a window open close, a door open close, a simple object tilt also can change the parameters of channel. We have impact of channel on the signal. It will change for small scale fading. So that's why we can divide the fading channels into broadly two types, relay fading and Russian fading. So where non-line of sight component is more dominant than line of sight component, we take relay fading. If line of sight component is dominant component, then it is a Russian fading. So the type of channel we have for our free space communication. And here these are body area channels. Modeling of body area channels different from free space channels. There is a difference. See the last case, it is in terms of gigahertz. So preferably body area networks will take the channels in UWB range. In which range? UWB range. If you want to simulate it and you want to implement in real time, already there is a protocol, standards are there, IEEE standards. If you want to do simulations for wireless channels, IEEE 802.11 is the IEEE standard. For body area network, IEEE 802.15.6 is the protocol. You can use this protocol as a channel modeling for wireless body area network. Up to this, at least somewhat you are getting a support is research we can so extend it in another way. Because you are the audience student, are you getting a how many are your problems? At least the basic. Very basic. How many of you understand what is WLAN? What is WLAN central? What is cooperative communication? What is the purpose of cooperative communication? So cooperative communication, simple word, just remember about it is a virtual memo. Cooperative agents are there, their job is to transmit their own information along with that help others. So we are having virtual memo. Physically, another way to say, nodes in a network share their resources to form a virtual memo is nothing but a cooperative communication. That is one type of diversity, cooperative spatial diversity. That is also the purpose. What the purpose of this? What is this? Intelligent reflecting service. The purpose is to provide line of sight communication between source and destination whenever the channel conditions are poor. So, what are the two limitations of these two? Everything is fine with respect to advantages. Up to now, we have seen how to form a communication between sensor to destination. In between, we are taking the help of cooperative communication and restriction. Till now, whatever we have here, all are positives. What are the limitations? What are the limitations? If you do our own work, it is okay. We are taking help from others also. Because it's a node, we need to feed it on it. Sustainability of the node. Power requirement, energy consumption. Yes, sir. We will keep on increasing the number of nodes. Number of nodes increasing means number of channels will increase. Number of channels increasing means operating frequencies increase. It is nothing but increasing the bandwidth. Bandwidth and the energy, both are resources, like our own money. You have to effectively use them. So you should not use more bandwidth, you should not use more power. So that's why every network, every next generation wireless network having two constraints every day. The first limitation is spectrum efficiency. How effectively you can use your available spectrum. And the second thing is the energy efficiency. With low amount of energy, how we can complete the task. Now, what are the two things extra we have? Apart from our sensors, we included cooperative communication, we included intelligent reflecting service. So we need to feed them by energy. Power requirement is there. Power requirement is there. But unfortunately, if we keep on increasing the power, proportionate radiation also will increase or not? Obviously, radiation is directly proportional to applied power. But increasing the power means automatically radiation also will increase. So what is our first target? Complete the total communication process with the low amount of power. So this we can call it as how effectively we can use all our resources like the power and bandwidth. We can call them as resource allocation methods. What we used to call them as resource allocation methods. What the purpose of this resource allocation method? how effectively we can allocate the available resources, whether it may be power, it may be bandwidth, it may be another extra resource we have, but how you effectively are sharing. Why I am saying it is effective? There are three nodes are there: source, destination, one helping agent, relay. How many channels we have? Source to destination one channel, source to helper one channel, helper to destination another channel. Three channels are there. How many nodes require power to send the information from source to destination? Source and relay both require power. Total power budget is given. Some amount of PT is given. So complete the task of communication with the power of PT. Now we need to allocate this total amount of power to some portion to source, some portion to helper. But unfortunately the direct link is not good. All the channels may not be same with respect to the quality. One channel is worst in nature. So giving equal power to bad channel, giving equal power to good channel, is it right option or bad option? It's not a good option, right? So equal power allocation will not solve your problem because the channels are not in equal condition. One channel is in good condition, another channel in bad condition. But unfortunately, we are giving equal power to them. Is it good? No. Appropriate action you have to take. So the channel which is worst, assign more power to that. The channel which is already good in place, only take you high power. Are you getting it? So this we can call it as resource allocation. How effectively you can assign your resource power to the nodes. Another way to say, assign resources as per the channel quality. Factors of channel, you can assign power to or bandwidth to the nodes. So power consumption is the main factor limitation we have. Now how to solve this power consumption? Some extra power is required for the extra nodes. Nowadays, that's why every next generation network, one part of that is defaultly energy harvesting. What is energy harvesting? Any example for energy harvesting? Energy harvesting. Save some energy for the purpose of sustainability. Yes, sir? Our helper agent is there, cooperative agent, relay element. What is the job? It is transmitting load information and helping us also. So it is our responsibility to feed the relay. How to feed that? A new technology comes into picture in wireless communication, 5G. The name is SWIFT technology. Simultaneous wireless information come power transfer. Another way to say, if I want to feed any node, send a signal to it. After receiving that signal, a portion of the signal power will harvest for that sustainability and remaining portion of the signal it will forward. Are you getting it? That means within the signal transfer itself, we are transferring the power also. So both things happens in a single shot. That we can call it as SWIFT technology. Simultaneous wireless information come power transfer. What the first benefit you will get? Energy sustainability you will get. So no need to feed it with extra supply from outside. What the second advantage we have? We are almost taking some power from the signal itself. Are you consuming power or not? That means are you consuming the radiation or not? Are you getting or not? So coming to outside medium, the amount of power is reduced. So the impact of radiation also getting reduced. This we can call it as simple words. Green communication. What is green communication? Away from radiation is green communication. Energy harvesting will solve these two things at a time. If you want to include these three terms into WLAN, how will be the network now? Sensor nodes, they are sensing information, sending information. If they are unable to communicate, they will take the help of cooperative communication. If they are unable to communicate, they will take the help of IRS. For the sustainability, we can include energy harvesting. And by including all these factors, we can effectively transmit our information from source to destination. Up to this clear? This we have seen in the black diagram. This is a cooperation communication, I have said. But the direct link is not good. Where will we depend on? External. And if you only for distance concern, indirect path is large compared to the direct path. Still, this relay element has line of sight communication with the source.